So a little bit of the background, and not a whole lot, definitely no real deep detail. What we had was a half acre with an old farmhouse on it, and we fell in love with it. It was a beautiful little spot. We outgrew it really quick, but we were convinced we could make it work. We didn't need a whole lot. We weren't planning on building a business. We just wanted to be self-sufficient, and the place was perfect for that. It was a beautiful little home. At some point, the family had built a guest house, mother-in-law suite, something. Anyway, a little smaller version of the cabin right next to it. In fact, it was so close that at one point they came in and re-roofed it and stretched the sidings and actually closed the 3.5-4 foot gap that was between the two. They may have done it all at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, there was two separate walls. It shared a roof. And the landlords, when they ran into the hiccup and realized they weren't going to be able to sell it to us, needed to utilize it. So they moved the family next door. So now it's a duplex. Wasn't bad. They were good neighbors. We got along great. Very to themselves. The kids were awesome. They were so much fun to have around because they just fell in love with the farm. But it was a lot of fun watching them. They really enjoyed the experience. And we're glad we got to be a part of that and give it to them. I don't remember the dates. It's turned into a kind of a blur, to be honest with you. I was at work. Anyway, I get a phone call, and it's my wife, and the house is on fire. Of course, I rushed home. Telephone call, house is on fire. You go home to see what's left. Wasn't our house. It wasn't our side at all. But the neighbor's apartment had caught on fire, and we did share a roof. Fortunately, because of the way they built it, the open ceiling didn't exist as far as the attic space being connected, so no smoke came our way. The fire department, God bless them, they were amazing. They were on site within minutes, got it under control really quickly. I don't know what did more damage to the spot, if it was the fire and the smoke or the hole they chopped in the roof and the amount of water they flooded in to make sure it was out. It kind of forced our hands a little bit. There's some other stuff with the house fire and the location and everything else that it just really got really uncomfortable fast. I had been staying out here for the most part of a month, maybe a little bit longer, almost full time. So Sarah was back there tending all the animals and taking care of everything on her own, and just the emotional stress that you go through when you feel like you were that close to losing everything. I just didn't see it as a viable situation to continue. So as much as I wanted the extra 3 weeks to really come in here and finish trimming this place out and getting it right, because I really wanted to give it to her, just turnkey, and didn't quite happen. We started moving animals that day, and like I said, it's an hour and a half one-way drive. Some days we made 3 round trips. The pigs had just been born. We didn't want to move them for at least 2 weeks, so it took all of that week. This happened on a Tuesday. It took all of that week. Sunday, I think we moved our last rabbit hutch, and all of our furniture, all of our belongings were still at the old homestead. Saturday of that week, it was supposed to be 2-3 inches of rain, so we decided not to rent the truck and move all of our belongings, mostly because we didn't know where we were going to put them. Y'all seen from earlier videos the amount of tools and tables and cutting boards and portable saws and everything I had in the middle of this house. It was a giant mess, a huge construction zone. That did not change on moving day. In fact, it got worse, because what we did was we stuck all of our furniture and belongings into the 2 closets I built, piled them in corners all the way around it. I didn't have a kitchen at all, and it was a nightmare. We did manage to get our bed off the truck and into the floor, into the dining room. And I'm going to quit talking and show you a little bit. But what I'm about to show you is light years ahead of what we've actually been living in. It looks way better now. Where the table was, in front of this window, there was nothing except a mattress on the floor. There was, if you remember, there was just work tables and saws and the big table saw and my presses and just wood and materials and tools everywhere, and it's still a mess. But I promise you, it looks like the Hyatt compared to what we were living in. It was horrible. It was chaotic. I really wanted to get some of it on film for you just to show you how we survived. We washed dishes in the bathtub for a week. I cleaned the bathtub first. Don't look at me like that. But, you know, we made do, because that's what you do. You make do. So, if you can see in the dark, this is the little hovel room I've been calling home. This little bed here folds out to a really just the most uncomfortable futon in the world. In fact, for the week we were moving animals, my wife and I slept on this every night. Granted, it does lay down into, like I said, the most uncomfortable full-size bed in the world. But that's where we were. This was it. This was our wall. It's a curtains tacked to the wall. Hello, chickens. And we just had furniture piled on here. And then, like I said, it was a giant disaster. So, since then, we've gotten a little bit of stuff taken care of. Not a whole lot. Still got a long ways to go. As you can see, looking around, I've still got building materials. I've still got windows boarded up where I have not had a chance to replace the glass planes that were broken when I got here. I did get our window unit installed. That's the big beefy one that's going to take care of this house, and so far it's doing a really good job. I don't know if you can see outside, but it kind of just sticks to the wall on a table. There's a light, and there's a light, and there's supposed to be a hood here that's not here yet, but God bless us, we've got a stove. Sarah found a deal on a used one down the road, and it's immaculate, looks great. Today, our big win, we had to go with a 30-inch base and not a 36. The big farm-style sink that we wanted was not even close to going into a 36. My wife, again, awesome internet search guru she is, she found this 28-inch drop-in kitchen sink with the vegetable rinse mat and all. And I went and picked that up at Lowe's today. Decided we really had to have it. Cooking board's in the way. Can't really see it. But, y'all, I can't stress enough how good it felt to finish dishes tonight in a sink again instead of in a bathtub. It was awesome. It was so much fun, we did them together. Because that's kind of where we're at right now in our lives. And it's a blast. Every minute's just so much fun. God is good, and we're just, you gotta love every moment of it. Even the crazy stuff, you really do. You gotta love it. But I don't even know where to begin. We have been so long since we have walked this room. I've still got so much to do. I feel like I'm talking in circles. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to come to the end down here in the dark again. I'm going to give you a point, because a lot of you have been asking, what does it look like now, or where you're at? So this is it. We're utilizing the closets that I have not painted the back wall on yet, or built doors, or trim, or frame. Underneath the roof that is still not trimmed. Next to the walls that are still not trimmed. Next to a TV stand that still does not have a TV. And we've got junk everywhere. But we can sit down now, have a conversation, and we're not on 5-gallon buckets on the side of the world's most uncomfortable futon. And I've still got to replace that door, rebuild that whole jamb. I've got to put a wall here beside the refrigerator. They haven't made it yet, but it's coming. But we have a refrigerator, we have a stove, we have a table to sit at. The chicken has joined us. He's not real, by the way, he's metal. Tractor Supply, $30 at Christmas. This is a good buy. So our spice shelf is currently our mini pantry. Our little spice chair, our mini pantry. Our pantry, still too dark to see in there. One of these days I'm going to film that when the lights are on. We found this gem, which is not looking great in this photo because I got it covered with stuff. This is, I'm guessing, based on what the guy at the antique store told me, roughly a 150-year-old dresser. we are going to convert it into our bathroom vanity. But to give you an idea what it's going to look like, I did manage to get half the room trimmed. That was kind of important to me before we actually brought the bed into this room. My wife did all the overhead painting and finished all of this so that I could get in here and build the bed. The reason I say build the bed, and I really wish I could have showed you how we did this. You've probably seen it. It's all over YouTube. We're not the first people in the world to build a pallet bed. But this bed is integrated locking pallets. This thing right here, oddly enough, they all just look like they're turning the same. We did something a little bit different though. When I got to the top of the top layer, we split a couple of pallets, had them meet in the middle a long way so that we have floating end tables by the bed. We did not consider when we designed this in our little heads that our mattress is 16 inches thick. So our little end tables got quite a drop. But we utilized an old bamboo dressing rack that we've been hauling around since Florida. It actually fit perfectly between these windows. The trim is up on the windows and the floor as well. Everywhere that I didn't need to move this bed again. Everything that we didn't want to do, which was move into the house unfinished, so that we could really focus on outside and getting the farm up and going. All those ideas, all those plans we had just came to a screeching halt with a simple phone call that said, "Tim, our house is on fire." And the panic that ensued and the decisions that had to maybe right on top of it just turned everything upside down as far as our plans. But you know, none of that really matters. We're here. We love it. It's a lot harder getting anything done when you're trying to live in the middle of it. I'm not getting to do my videos as much. I'm not getting to work as much, at least not here. The daily grind is just kind of, you know, starts taking precedence. Our biggest fear is that we kind of get in a rut and get stuck and staying like this. I'm not going to let that happen. We're going to keep on pressing. So over the weekend, we're going to get a bunch of this done, and I'll shoot you another video and let you know how we're going from there. And we'll stay in touch. Until then, Tim out.